you doing there, twin? What is going on? What we want to talk about today? Hey, Earthman house. As always, in the name of my ancestors, peace forever, and always, and welcome to another edition of what I call the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the gatekeeper or the host of this program, known here on social media, wherever you may find me. I am known as the mighty Angel Snub 7. I'm your soul brother, and hopefully your friend, Taalik Ibn'rad. Okay. We got a topic here. I want to take a few minutes to deal with it. The topic that we've chosen is black people will never be Africans. In fact, raise this statement makes some folks angry. You are anti-African. You're anti-African, you're lost, and the list goes on and on. You can call me anti-African, you can call me Jay, you can call me Bay, you can call me Ray, you can say my hair is gray, you can, whatever your little heart desires. But there's a reality that we're going to have to deal with whether you like it or not. See, that's your belief. That's your belief that you want to be an African. That's like Salt and Pepper said. Hey, what's up there, Soul Brother 85? Like Salt and Pepper said back in the day, it's your thing. Do what you want to do. I can't tell you who to sock it to. That's your thing. You want to be an African? You want to be a banana? You want to be Napoleon? Whatever you want to be, that's your thing. Who are you to say black people will never be African? You don't represent no black people. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to give you some good examples. I'm going to tell you why. It's not up to me. Because really, I don't care. If you want to be an African, that's fine and dandy. If you want to be a Moor, Hebrew, whatever y'all want to be, it's fine. But apparently your happy ass like to be a slave. And so you being an African and you being a Moor or a black Christian or whatever the hell you call it don't mean nothing when you live in another man's house. When you live in another man's house and he gonna tell you what you are, because if you want to leave this country, you gonna put African American or black. He don't want to hear all this other garbage. Not no African. He wants you gonna put down African American or black, or your happy ass not going nowhere. You have misidentified yourself. You are lying to the system. They tell you who and what you're gonna be. You have no power. You have no influence. You need to sit your happy ass down. I want to give you 3 examples of why I say, soul brothers and sisters, black people born in America, they are never going to call them Africans of any type. I'm going to tell you why. Now, I'm going to use my own personal family. I have known them over 50-some years. Okay? Old people who are now deceased and younger people right now. From my observation, I have a lot of people, all of you, you go to your family reunions. I mean, just think about it. You go to your family reunions and you meet up with your people. I want to ask you a question. How many in your family call themselves African? Well, I'm black, but I'm proud of my African side. How many of them talk like that? How many of them bring up the subject of Africa? Like Eric Muhammad always said, talk black to me. This has nothing to do with Angel Snub Nub 7. This is the reality of things. I've been around my people over 50 years. Nobody talk about they're African. They might say, I'm happy to be black, I'm black and I'm proud. They never said, nobody in my family went out their way to talk about, I'm proud to be black, but I'm an African. Nobody in 50 years. So if the adults, if the adults are not talking like that, I have never heard none of my teenage grand relatives, I never heard them say, I'm proud to be black and I'm proud of my African side. Never. Never. I never heard my grandmother say, I'm proud to be an African. She barely said she was a Negro. My grandmother barely said she was black. Matter of fact, my grandmother probably would say she was a Negro before black, because that's the time period that she came in. Colored and Negro. That's right, twin. Africans, twin said Africans call us Americans. They don't call us Africans either. So, in your personal family, nobody is calling themselves an African. Okay, my number 2 example. My number 2 example is this. Twins said they don't even call us black. But look here. My number 2 example. The show called Roots debuted in 1977. I was a teenager. I was 15, 16 years old. I just entered, I was a freshman in high school, I believe. The series called Roots made its debut. And we watched Roots. There's nobody in my community that I know of didn't watch that series called Roots. We couldn't wait to get home to see the next episode of Roots. What's going to happen to Kunta Kinte? We knew that Kunta Kinte was supposed to represent us as a people, being Africans. Now we know when we was watching Roots, Kinte, even though this is the story of Alex Haley and his family, Kunta Kinte, Alex Haley is supposed to represent Black America. Our ancestors came from Africa on a ship, and that's what kicked everything off. This made some of us very emotional. A lot of brothers and sisters want to go out and beat up white folks because of Roots. It was really emotional. And a lot of us, the adults and the children, we was crying for Kunta Kinte, and we really got into Roots. It was really emotional event. Now I read the books, and of course the series, it was watered down compared to what Kunta Kinte actually went through on his journey coming to America. That's watered down for TV. Even so, after all that, I never heard nobody talk about I'm an African. I never heard nobody talk about I'm going to try to find out my African side. They was crying over Kunta Kinte. They was feeling sorry for the Haley family and the things they went through during slavery and blah, blah, blah. But when it's all said and done, nobody claimed to be African. They said I'm black and I'm proud. Remember, this is the 70s. I'm black and I'm proud. But nobody was saying I'm proud to be an African. Just I'm black and I'm proud. I'm an Afro-American and things of that nature. They did not embrace Africa. Even though we are being taught that our ancestors came from that continent. So that's example number 2. Nobody in my school, none of the children, none of the adults, we became more proud to be black, but nobody wanted to be African. Okay. My last example. Look, as many of you know, I was incarcerated for 10 years in a mental facility. I was incarcerated in a mental facility in the city of St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis, Missouri is 80 to 90% soul brothers and sisters, okay? 80 to 90% soul brothers and sisters. The mental facility that I was in, the staff was over 90% black. The staff was over 90% soul brothers and sisters. Okay. I was locked up 10 years around soul brothers and sisters for 10 years. I never heard nobody talk about Africa. Now this is 10 years. From 1997 to 2007, I'm surrounded by black people. I'm surrounded by soul brothers and sisters, men and women, different kinds going back and forth because they would get fired and get replaced and blah, blah, blah. Nobody talked about I'm proud to be an African and we should be African. Nobody. 10 years. Now you can be Pan-African and you can be just one of these obsessed Negroes that want everybody to be an African. Explain this to me. All these examples that I gave you, 10 years, I was locked up with black folks. Now look at this. Now I want y'all to check this out. There was a doctor from Africa. I forgot what his name was. I know his name was Micah something. I forgot which African nation he come from. He was the only thing black in that facility that was African, that wanted to be an African, because that's what he was. Now check this out. Hey, who is that? I can't hardly see. My screen is sort of is all faded out because of the sunlight. I'll holler at you in a bit here. Check this out, and we're gonna call it a day. What's that, Gracie B? I can't hardly see. Okay, look. The oracle's in the house. Look. Now here's an African. Do you know these brothers and sisters had nothing to Oracle B? Okay, there we go. Now I can see. Oracle in the house. These brothers and sisters had nothing to do with this African. The only thing they would do is say, hi, how you doing? Nobody tried to socialize with this African man. Why is that? I thought we supposed to be African. I thought he's our family. Why didn't these brothers and sisters try to socialize with this African? See, this is the reality that Pan-Africans don't want to deal with. This is the reality. Even though we know all these things, we cannot relate. We don't know nothing about no Africa. We never lived in Africa. We never knew our ancestors that's supposed to come from Africa. We can't relate. Matter of fact, you got people right here in the United States that's your biological relatives. Some of you was born and raised, and you can't relate. And these are people that you actually know. You was born and raised with some of these people, and you can't relate to them at all. But I'm supposed to relate to somebody I don't know. I'm supposed to relate to a foreign land I've never been. They cannot relate. It's no different. It's no different than trying to make us Chinese. We cannot relate. We cannot relate to that culture. The only thing we know is the good old United States of America. That's all we know for 500 years. Going on 500 years. That's all we know. We don't know nothing about no China. We don't know nothing about speaking Mandarin. We don't know nothing about that. Trying to make us an African, you might as well try to make us Chinese. It's the same thing. We don't know nothing about it. So you can get angry, and you can get upset, and you can be disappointed all the hell you want. That's the reality of it. Here we are, using another example. Black Lives Matter. All this blackness that we see since the death of George Floyd. Where are the African signs at? Thank you, Earthman. Where are the African signs at? I see Black Lives Matter. I'm proud to be black. Where the African stuff at? Even these people that talk all that African garbage, they're not on the street either, showing their connection to Africa. Where you at? And see, this is another hypocritical thing about these Pan-African with Africa. Africa is the motherland. The motherland ain't did a damn thing for us. I heard out of 50-something nations and sisters. Hey, what's up there, Dean? Your African brothers and sisters. Where was your Africans? Where was these Africans when our children and our women was getting sprayed by fire hoses and get bit by dogs? Where was the Africans at? nothing African about the Pan-African. So it's a waste of your time and effort. Because clearly, so-called American black people, because not what they are, never lived in Africa, don't know nothing about it. It's foreign. And they don't want to know nothing about it like that. That's cool. Don't have nothing to do with me. My people come from Mississippi. All these children are born in another state. They have no interest and do not care about Mississippi. They do not care. Has nothing to do with them. They deal with where they are at. They don't want to go visit Mississippi. They're not interested like that. Just not. And you cannot force, and think you force somebody because you're mad. You're not going to force nobody to be no damn African. You can kick rocks, and like I told you, suck an egg. Roll out. It's not going to happen. But you want to keep trying, go ahead. You're not going to get anywhere. It's an uphill battle. They're not interested. All they want is to be left the hell off. All this other baggage y'all carry. You gotta believe in this God. You gotta be an African and all this. Take your ass on. With that said, thank you for joining me these few minutes. And you can be there. Enjoy yourself. When you say the word African, you talking about a whole continent. That's stupid. You cannot be the whole continent. Who do you want us to be specifically? It sounds stupid. It's confusing. I'm an African. African who? The people are not interested. You can cry, snot can come all out your mouth, and you can spit. That's your personal problem. I guess you're gonna be snot. You're gonna have snot everywhere and spit for a long time because it's not gonna happen. It's just not. Out of here. Thank you for joining me. Enjoy the hot, nice day. And if I feel like it, I might be back later on tonight. Who knows? According to how I feel. We have another talk. Jay Shay said, I ain't no damn African. Don't be mean like that. Don't be mean like that. So thank you, Twin and Soul Brother 85, and Oracle, and man, I forgot almost. Got a lot of folks in the chat, everybody. And if I miss you, oh, Earthman, I see Earthman. And I thank you, appreciate everybody for joining me. And like I say, maybe I'll come back and holler at us later on. It's according to how I feel. Okay, I'm out. All the 5,000. Peace.